time is now 6:01 p.m. and we are ready to begin our regular scheduled board meeting for September 21, 2023. Members of the public who desire to address the board on any topic related to board work must sign the roster before 6:30 p.m. That is located to the back of the room here. Ms. Arambide, would you please conduct our roll call?
Yes, of course. Mrs. English?
Here.
Ms. Frazier?
Here.
Mrs. Salazar?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mrs. Willsfield?
Here.
Candelora Dionisio?
Here.
Commissioner Rawlings?
Here. Right. Item 2.3, our Pledge of Allegiance and the reading of our mission statement. This evening, we have the pleasure of having students from Monterey Elementary School participating in our Board of Education celebration. I have Connor Escalante, Caspian Byrne, Travis Anderson, Melania Edwards, Genesis Contreras Marina, Harper Luan, Romeo Lopez Romero, Marlena Lopez, Zach Ade, is that correct? Say it for me. O'Day, thank you, sir. Elizabeth Almendarez Laza, Jeffrey Davis, and Jocelyn Sanchez Frosto. The floor is yours.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The mission of HSD2 is to graduate college and career-ready students with the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors to personally succeed and contribute to the common good.
Yes.
La misión de HSD2 es ayudar a estudiantes preparados para la universidad y la tarea con el conocimiento, las habilidades, las actitudes y los comportamientos para tener éxito personalmente y contribuir al bien común.
Thank you. And I know you all just had a seat, but we have a few gifts for you up here. If you would all join us up here on the dais.
You can stay up, we've got pictures to take.
Yes. These are definitely the best days when we get to have our students with us to celebrate the accomplishments of the district. It really puts things into perspective of why we do what we do. Moving along to item number 3, to adopt our agenda. Item 3.1, has everyone had a chance to review said agenda? And for item 3.1, I would just need a motion.
Mr. President, I would like to move that we adopt the agenda as stated.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Wills Hill, second by Ms. Frazier. All those in favor? Aye. We have ourselves a board meeting. Item number 4, communicating with the board. Once more, item 4.1, showcasing our schools. Today, of course, we have Monterey Elementary School. And I have Ms. Thompson.
What day is it?
Yes.
What day is it?
It's the
It's
21st.
the 21st of September.
All right.
It is the 21st of September, and that is actually Miss Thompson's favorite song. So we had to play it. We had to have it in. We asked permission to not be too extra and have that song in there. Well, we are Monterey Elementary School. I am Erica Tunson, the principal at Monterey Elementary School.
And I'm Renee Dahl, the assistant principal at Monterey.
So this year, our theme is Game On. Get your head in the game. Get your head in the game, because learning is not a sideline sport. So we have our jerseys. We are ready to get in the game. We had 2 new curriculums. We had to get in the game so we would be ready to go. So thus we have jerseys and we are ready to go.
Okay, thank you. So this is a picture of our lovely school. That's our bond work. I am going down. Huh?
Push it down, but.
Is that way? I have it upside down.
There we go.
Nice, folks. Okay, so we are the Mustangs. We're going to share a little bit about our school.
Yeah, fine.
So we have 208 marvelous Mustangs that sit in our seats, and approximately 60% of our marvelous Mustangs qualify for free and reduced lunch, and that was in 22-23. And then 17% of our marvelous Mustangs qualify for CLED, and you heard a little sample of some of their language skills tonight. 13% of them have an individualized educational plan, and 1.4% of Mustangs qualify for gifted education services.
So, hi, I'm Christy Armstrong. I'm math and science, 5th grade at Monterey. So currently we have 10 classroom teachers. We have one 4th grade teacher on the way. We have 2 special ed teachers, 1 mod needs and 1 affective needs. We also have 1 CLDE teacher, 1 reading interventionist this year. We have a PE teacher, some of you are familiar with, Ms. Claudio. We also have a new thing this year, we're integrating arts and STEAM, so we have 1 teacher for that. We also have a social worker, and we are currently sharing our counselor with Oak Creek. We have 4 instructional paras this year. 1 of them is our new ECRI tutor. We also have a library tech teacher, 1 health tech, and then we have a building engineer and 2 custodians.
Hi, my name is Sarah Melgos. I teach 2nd grade, and some fun facts about Monterey. We have a lot of alumni that work in our building, myself included. I grew up going to Bricker, Panorama, and Sierra. And so we have 5 staff members who are D2 family. Ms. Tunson has actually been the teacher for one of our 3rd grade teachers. And so that's kind of cool. Ms. Robinson is a former Monterey student. You can even find her class pictures. And we have a lot of family connections. Ms. Sankey, Ms. Rollins, there are in-house sisters. And Monterey is really and truly a village. I mean, we take each other in. My son went to Monterey from kindergarten till 5th grade. And I could have taken him anywhere, but I chose Monterey because we have excellent people there.
Okay, so contributing to student success. For our admin, we definitely make sure that parents are involved. We have a weekly video on Class Dojo. Ms. Dahl and myself take turns doing our Friday video for parents. We started this year picnic with the principals. We got amazing feedback from our 5th graders about the corn. They would like us to season the corn. That was their biggest complaint. Otherwise, they had great things to say and had some things that we could do to make it better. This year, Ms. Dahl and I have created a culture calendar just so that we make sure that our events are planned for our teachers, just to make sure that we are appreciating them and making sure that the building has them feel that you are appreciated and we're glad that you're here. We attend all the extracurricular activities we can. We're big basketball fans. We saw every game, and we only missed 1 soccer game because we were painting a playground. But we sent a video. To let them know we were thinking about them. Every morning, we try to be outside. We know all of our students by name and try to greet them by name every morning. We've tried to support our teachers this year as they take on 2 new curriculums. We've added an additional plan time. We're taking this year to really work on academic team work sessions. When we have our team meetings, we include all teachers that support those students, whether it be CLDE or our special education teachers. Our teachers contribute to problem solving and enhancing the mission of the building through our building leadership team, our school literacy team, and we do a weekly culture survey that we have done in the past, and we are bringing right back out just to see what the culture is like in the building and help out where we can. Our teachers each have committed to everyone takes a club or ELO after school for at least a quarter every year, including their administrators. We now are cheerleading coaches. We have 52 students in cheerleading. So that was Tuesday. It was a lot of fun. We love to support our staff through weekly team meetings with us, all relevant trainings based on what we see they need. And every grade level has a member of BLT, including our support staff. We also make sure our support staff have a meeting with us so we can touch base with them. We've used our community partners to staff our family resource room. So we've worked with several different partners to have uniforms. We've got clinic supplies, CMAS snacks, bags of books. We've gotten meals, grants for different things that we've done. We've worked with the Links Incorporated. We've worked with Nueva Vida. We also worked with nursing sorority. We've had Dr. Barbara Swavey donated bags of books to every single student in our school. We have so many different people we have worked with to make that happen. We try to engage our families in as many ways possible, as many ways that we can touch them with our admin message of the week. Teachers all post a peak of the week on Class Dojo. We have our family resource room, of course, our family nights and parent events, pastries in the parking lot, which we're trying to do each quarter. And Mrs. Heaton, our integrated arts teacher, has started a volunteer opportunity where we are doing the most. I forget what MOST stands for.
Monterey
Monterey.
Operational Support Team.
Operational Support Team, but we are doing the most. There for parents.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into our academic performance. So last year on iReady, the top represents where we ended the year, and if you look at the bottom for math, this just really shows that we've made a lot of, our students made a lot of growth last year. Our green bar got a lot bigger and our red got smaller, so that's what we want to do. So the kids were moving, and we will continue to do that this year as well. And then we just wanted to talk about our CMAS scores. So if you look, the purple bar is last year, and the blue bar is this year. Well, 23 CMAS, yes, last year's, yes. And so in ELA, in third grade, we took a little dip. In fourth grade, we had a huge gains. In the fifth grade in ELA, we took a little dip in our how many students met or exceeded the expectations. And then in math, we went down some. In fourth grade math, we made a large, more students met and exceeded. And in fifth grade, we had even more students than the following year. So we were really happy with that. We know we still have a lot more to do, but as you'll see, we're still trying, we have the growth piece, but we really are working on that achievement piece. And so this graph just shows the medium growth percentile. Where we want everyone to be is at 50. And you can see in ELA, we were at like 57. And we were similar in all subcategories. So that's our ELL students, our free and reduced lunch, our minority. And then in math, the same thing. Actually, in math, our EL students, our ML students outperformed the rest of the school. So that was really exciting for us as well. Whoops. I don't usually use the clicker. And then the other piece that we wanted to share was the mean scale score trend. So on CMAS, after our students take the test, we get what the mean score for all of our students were. And in the past, we had realized that our ML students were significantly below. So we really put a focus on that. And what's exciting to us is that almost all subcategories are at the same mean. So there's not this huge gap between any subcategories.
Okay, so as Ms. Dahl said, we do have some work to do in achievement, and we're always trying to strive for that. But as for growth, so school performance framework, we were at improvement. with a score overall of 46.7, where there were many areas where we were not meeting in terms of achievement or growth in some areas. But this year, we hit performance with 71.4 being our score. We are very proud because we are approaching or meeting and even exceeding in some areas with our current school performance framework. So we're very proud of the SPF work. Just the difference in color from not meeting in many areas just last year to approaching, meeting, and exceeding, especially in academic growth, with exceeding in all areas for math. So in response to this data, looking very deeply into our data, we definitely are looking to increase academic achievement in reading and math, and we're still working to get 70% of our students reading at or above grade level.
And in order to reach our goals, our action plan is to continue to improve upon our data analysis system. So our interventions, we monitor that in 6-week cycles. Plan, do, study, and act is what PDSA stands for. And we analyze how students are doing in their intervention. We also have started academic teams. So we have work sessions with our teachers during their plan time on Mondays. And it used to be just the classroom teachers. This year we've included the CLDE teacher, the special education teachers, and the reading interventionists to really help so that we are all a team working on the same goal and we can have that communication because it's always about the kids. And we're using PLC Plus to do that, which has everybody part of the team. We're activating, we're really looking and digging deep into data. We also know that writing is an area that we want to improve in. So to do that, we have vertical alignment teams this year, and every month our students take a prose constructed response, which is a longer writing. And then we, at our academic teams, we analyze the data together to know what the next steps are. We follow a protocol. And the last one is to improve our mathematical reasoning and modeling. So we're going to implement monthly math constructed responses. We're going to take a deep dive into the CMAS data to really know the areas where we need to focus on to bring those scores up. We'll focus on our mathematical practices and then also implementing building thinking classrooms. So that was our data. Now we're moving into how Monterey contributes to the common good.
Hi, I'm Anna Robinson. I'm the library and tech teacher at Monterey. So we have a very involved student council. Right now we have about 24 children from grade 2nd to 5th. And our biggest event is our trunk or treat drive for the community. Last year, student council was involved in donations for candy instead of our teachers going out of pocket for it, and we raised about over 350 pounds of candy. So if y'all want some candy, come by Monterey. We also have a very successful student newscast that's student led, and it's pretty much just a news show. And it happens every Friday, and it just goes over community and school events, and it also goes through teacher spotlights as well as just cultural things that are happening in the world. We also last year had our 4th grade class donate and make blankets for a women's shelter, and we do have a very good student wellness club that makes sure to give us healthy tips in the morning for our morning announcements.
So a couple of new and innovative things we're doing. We do not have an instructional coach. We didn't have it in our budget. We're a small school. So we have a smaller budget. So we did not have it in our budget really to have an instructional coach. So last year we started what was called Coaching Core. We have some teacher leaders who act as coaches. We do use a program called Sit With Me, where teachers can record themselves and then other teachers can watch it on the program. Watch it on the platform, Sydney, so they can watch it and they can do direct feedback into the video. So our coaches use that. So we don't have to do any sub time or anything. Our coaches, we pay them a stipend to do that work where they can coach teachers using that time and see them teach, give feedback, and they can also watch that coach teach. So we're using our teachers to do that piece of coaching. And we also have used, again, our partners to do our family resource room, which just helps families who are new to our school. It could be they need uniforms, they need food, or something when they come to us. So we've used some of our partners that we've met through the community cafe. So Boss Babe Networking got a lot of that going for us. That's one of our partners. Nueva Vida Church, Chi Eta Phi sorority, which is a nursing sorority, an African American nursing sorority. They gave us a ton of stuff for our clinic, ice packs to underwear. And then again, Dr. Barbara Swaby, who provided the books. We have extras so that if new students come to our school, and since they have to read every night, if they don't have books, we are able to give them a bag of books as well.
So now we're going to talk about some more of our school strengths.
Hi, my name is Sharon Morris. I'm a special education moderate needs teacher at Monterey Elementary School. Our school has a diverse staff that represents our community and our students, so we're able to connect with them because we've been there. Also, a lot of our, a majority of our teachers, not majority, but some of our teachers are D2 alumni, and they have roots in the community. So they are able, again, to talk with the parents at the level that they need and be able to make those connections with the community. Also, we retain about 90% of our teachers. No, really low turnover.
Hello, I am Marie Heaton, and I am so privileged to be the Integrated Arts and STEAM teacher this year at Monterey Elementary. I'm loving it. So, all right, so the thing that I love the most is the light bulbs coming on in the children and just seeing the lights in their eyes when something works out, something that they thought they couldn't do. We do a lot of collaborative learning in the STEAM lab and some in art as well, where students are working together in teams or in groups to solve problems. And I'm consistently and constantly reminding them, go ask your partners first before you come to me. So they try to solve the problems together. And I was so pleased when one of my second grade students came to me at the end of class and said, my brain grew so much today. I think the STEAM program and integrating arts with the STEAM program is quite a benefit to the students in all areas that it contributes to their learning in all areas, such as second grade is now doing an art piece showing a math problem. So they've been working really hard on it and they have gained that understanding now producing their art pieces. It's a great program. Thank you.
My name is Savannah Disney. Sorry, I'm short. I'm very short.
Sorry,
my name is Savannah Disney. I'm a third grade teacher at Monterey. We have all sorts of connections. We have generations of families constantly coming through and continuing to come into Monterey. Both all staffs and admin were able to greet students by name because we have teachers that come back every single year for they know our faces and we know theirs. We all attend curricular activities like basketball and soccer. We have a variety of after-school clubs and ELOs, anywhere from cursive club to homework club to cheerleading club and sports club. We have pastries in the parking lot with our admin every quarter to get feedback and let parents have more of a voice for their children at school. And then also, as I said before, picnic with the principals, where we get each grade level admin sits down with each grade level each month to get feedback and what's great, including food and everything else, academic and social emotional wise.
So as you can see, Monterey rocks, and we will rock it out for you, but just a quick thank you to our students who came to present. They did a wonderful job. To our amazing, amazing families who always come out to support their kids in Monterey. To our spectacular staff that all I had to do is ask and they showed. Our board member this year who's been supporting us, Rep in Monterey today. And of course to all of the board and the executive team that support us and help make us all successful. We appreciate everyone that makes this work. So with that said, before we go, are you ready to rock it out?
You all are truly phenomenal. I wish you all the best, safe travels this evening. I'm just going to touch on a few things as you guys are exiting. To have taken on 2 new curriculum this year and to be working so diligently and succeeding in all that you're doing, that growth from 46% to 70% is phenomenal in every way possible. Yes, those students rock. I don't know how you deal with 52 cheerleaders. But what warms my heart the most is that you have 24 of these young babies on a student council already in elementary school. That is phenomenal. I had a few notes here. Generations of families is one of the most beautiful things that you could have put on that presentation. Miss Robinson, you are Dr. Robinson's daughter, are you not? Yes. She already did that. She thought I might say something about that. Yeah. You guys are most certainly doing the most with your Monterey operational support team. You guys truly embody what it means to be a part of the HSD2 community. These pillars of strength in this room, everyone knowing the Monterey Rocks anthem. I need to learn it myself because I was a little lost. I was like, oh, I'm not going to say anything and mess it up because it sounds so beautiful, but you guys are doing phenomenal, Ms. Tunson, under your leadership. I recall when you were an AP and I first sat on the board here, and knowing that you would be the principal of Monterey, it's been quite a blessing to know you. Thank you. Congratulations. I love you all. The board loves you all. We support you all. And you guys have a good night.
a couple of comments.
Yes, ma'am.
So Ms. Timpson, I met your mom.
I heard.
Yes, at the last listening session, and she is so proud of you. Now I can see why.
Thank you.
But I did want to, great presentation, great work, but I did want to make a couple of comments. I really appreciated the reading of the mission statement in English and Spanish. That was beautiful. Thank you for that. And then also student council and the work that you guys are doing with them, that is great. So I will just say in my day job, I do community work, and starting community work at a young age is so important. I mean, that's what's gonna make this district and this community strong, right? So thank you for that. Also, I want to give you a minute to maybe share what your secret sauce for increasing the academic performance. I mean, that's incredible. If you could just say, very quickly.
I think one of the things that really helped us last year is we really worked on our PDSA cycle, and that was for reading. And we really got that very tight. So I think we really put kids where they needed to be when it came to interventions. So we were really working on skills with kids for reading. In terms of math, and just the end of the year, we got data from RDA that showed how many of our kids did not finish CMAS testing the previous year. So instantly, we started working with our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade teachers to build stamina in our kids. They were going to finish the test. You don't have a chance if you don't finish the test. So we definitely worked on that to make sure everybody finished the test, because we thought that was part of the reason why we weren't scoring as high as we could. Kids weren't finishing the test. And then right before 3rd quarter, where we usually kind of take a dip in learning, we rolled out something that had an acronym PUSH, where we just asked teachers to continue to push kids and to let them struggle, kind of have the productive struggle that they needed, take hands off, just push kids to work on their own, to work independently, and teachers bought into it. And they really did push kids that 3rd quarter right before testing. And I think also a shakeup of teams. We did change some personnel. I think, especially in 5th grade where we saw the most growth, that team believed in those kids. And it was evident the minute that they went to 5th grade, because in 4th grade, they just didn't do well. But changing up the team and seeing how much those 5th grade teachers believed that those kids could do it also was a big difference. The relationships they built with those kids, and they basically told those kids, like, you're gonna rock it, you're gonna do it, and everything. And everybody who encircled those kids to get them ready for CMAS, I mean, we put on a whole assembly that the entire school was involved in, just to say, from kindergarten all the way up, we support you, we've been here for you, you can do it. So it was just all of those things. It was relationships, it was a change when we saw that kids needed somebody new, and just really purposely finding out what we did wrong the year before. And it was not finishing the test.
Thank you so much to you and your team. That is just so phenomenal that you would be able to identify and quickly shift when you saw the need. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'm sure everyone else does as well.
I have a sidebar.
So you said that there's a student wellness club that gives tips, and they got out of here. But I wanted to know what one of their wellness tips. This has got to be really interesting.
Sometimes they pick, like, they tell us the vitamins that are in a vegetable or a fruit and why we should eat it. Like,
that strawberries have a lot of vitamin C, and so we should eat strawberries. Or they take the vegetable or whatever that's on the menu from nutrition services, and then they just tell people why they should eat them and that we build muscles. And so that's usually the tip, why we should eat a vegetable or fruit, or why we should exercise. That was also one too. And so they get on the announcement and they tell us why we should eat a fruit or a vegetable and why we need to exercise our bodies.
That's great. Thank you.
Mrs. Thompson, Ms. Dahl, thank you. I am so very proud of Monterey Mustangs. I'm proud of you all and your staff. I have not had the opportunity to observe the newscast that's made by students, but I'm going to make it a point to see that. That is really a great idea. I love how you have reached out to community with your pastries in the parking lot. With the fourth grade students who made the blankets for a woman's shelter. That is really wonderful, and it shows the type of caring and loving spirit that you all exhibit in Monterey. And obviously it's contagious, and the students have picked up on that too. So thank you. I'm very proud to have you as one of my
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Monterey truly rocks. Yes. I'll move us right along to item 4.2. We have our report from our student board representatives, Ms. Candelaria Dionisia and Mr. Nisha Rollins.
I'll go first.
All right.
So this week for Sierra is the alumni week. So all week long we've been doing events pertaining to past Sierra High School graduates. We've had lunch panels where we got to ask questions about their experiences and advice about future college and all that. And then we also have had specific events for the alumni. Like today specifically was the volleyball and basketball alumni game, where the former graduates got to play against each other in a friendly game of volleyball and starting soon basketball. And then also tomorrow actually is going to be the ribbon cutting for the Bremer Stadium. And afterwards, the alumni are going to play some flag football in the stadium to celebrate the new opening. And next week's going to be our first week as with all of our newer facilities with our homecoming. And I think being able to finally do that and celebrate that is going to be really fun.
I'll start with the most exciting thing, which is our new Panther Press, which is a student-ran newspaper. And I think that everyone really likes to see that. It's very exciting just because how many different things we have going on at our school. And they talk about different games happening that day. They talk about a spirit week or something like that. Just different things that every student should know, and even staff. We just had a career fair, which was really helpful to a lot of the students, especially the seniors and the juniors, just because they were able to see a lot of different career fields. And health was a really big one that a lot of our students are interested in, so it was really nice to have different people in our community come and kind of support them and give them pamphlets, give them offers for internships, different things like that. We also have a student council teacher this year, so it is not just a club anymore, which is very nice to have just because last year our student council was a little bit of a mess. And then we are continuing with peer mediation and restorative justice, which has been very, very successful. And
Two of the best student board reps we've had, at least in my tenures here in our school. These guys have pushed the needle, and it gets better and better. Every time they sit on this dais, it's better than the last. Certainly proud of you two as well for being the leaders that you are in our community as well. Thank you. All right, I'll move us along to item number 5, department updates. Item 5.1, we have our wraparound services presented by Mr. Josh Congood, the director of our wraparound services. How are you this evening, sir?
Doing great.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Board President Williams, members of the board, I'm really proud to just give you about a 10-minute overview of what Wraparound Services does for the district. And some of you may not have heard a whole lot about our department because we're pretty new. It's only about a year old, and it started with just 2 people, a director and an MTSS coordinator, and it's ballooned to 7 people and a ton of stuff going on. So in terms of Wraparound Services Department, you know, we're all pretty new. Most of us haven't even been here more than like 3 months. So really our slogan is we take care of everyone. You know, there's a lot of departments that are super focused on students and what they need academically. We really are focusing on adults and students, making sure everybody's needs are met. Really the purpose of our department is to collaborate with district staff and community partners to create and improve preschool through 12th grade systems related to mental health, interventions, career-connected learning, preschool, and child care. So that's a long list, and you'll see a much longer list here in a minute of all the things that we do. Most of my team is here this evening, and I'm going to introduce them and go through kind of after that, just kind of let you know what everybody's up to and the projects that we're working on. So to my left here is Heather Mabel. She is our MTSS coordinator. MTSS is multi-tiered systems of support. Much like Ms. Tunson was talking about in terms of interventions, that's really looking at student growth and responding to students that aren't growing. Dr. Banish, Adrienne Banish.
Can you use the microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You can pull it off and hold on to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Banish is our staff and student wellness coordinator. And next to her is Ashley Sportel. She's our career connected learning coordinator, a new position that started in January. Megan Trosper on the end there. She is our student success supervisor. With us, not with us this evening is Kim Hooks, secretary, who unfortunately we have to share her with our instructional tech and STEAM department. She's the secretary for both departments. And Jamie Montoya DeSmit is our mental health services coordinator. That position was formerly known as counselor coordinator, but we've expanded that to really try to connect different departments to ensure that we have counselors and social workers and school psychologists all working together around mental health. So here's the kind of the 12-point list of things that we have going on in our department. And if you talk to Dr. Burhansel, she adds like one thing a month to our list here. But we have such an amazing staff that we're able to make all these things happen. So as I mentioned, Heather Mabel, working as our MTSS coordinator, works on interventions with all of our schools. So really looking at students that may not be making the growth that we want to see out of them. We have that multi-tiered system of support to ensure that they are making that academic growth, social, emotional, and behavioral growth as well. Counseling and mental health, as I mentioned, Mr. Montoya DeSmit is working with counseling, overseeing all counselors in the district and collaborating with building administrators to make sure that we have all the mental health supports that we need to meet the needs of students. Ms. Trosper on the end is in charge of our student success centers, which were brand new last year. And that's really an effort to work on decreasing the amount of exclusionary discipline we have in the district. In other words, suspensions. So instead of having students sent home for multiple days for certain offenses, as most of us know, that's not good for kids. They're not learning when they're out of the building. They're not safer when they're out of the building. They're also not learning the skills that they were missing in the first place that got them in trouble. So that's what that program is all about. We have those programs in Harrison High School, Sierra High School, Carmel Community School. Fox Meadow is new this year with their program. And we're looking at opening them at the K-8s and some of the other secondary schools. So Ms. Banish is our staff and student wellness coordinator. She's really taking a new look at what wellness looks like for teachers in the district. As we've done many things in the past, like October's coming up, which everybody really gets excited about, but also looking at creating a new vision around that, so that we're really making sure that we're taking care of our staff, and staff have the tools in their toolbox to ensure that they are well. As there's a lot of research out there showing that staff that are regulated, well-regulated, and well themselves are much more effective teachers and staff members. Ms. Fortel runs our Career Connected Learning program. That's something pretty new to our district, and really, I could probably go another hour on just this topic, but it's really going to be revolutionizing what high school looks like over the next 3 to 5 years. The internship fair that you spoke about, that was through the Career Connected Learning program. But down the road, we're looking at having mandatory internships for kids, so they know what they're getting into, and they get to explore what they want to do for the future. So that's some really exciting work. We also have some other things that aren't as big of systems, and that sometimes come up throughout the school year. Crisis support. We have crisis support leadership on our team. So when there are instances at schools where we need a real influx of mental health services, we help coordinate those efforts. We currently contract out with CPCD for preschool, but I'm the point of contact with that, and we're working with them on the Universal Preschool program. Most of you have heard of Universal Preschool at this point, as we're wrestling with the state on that to make sure that we're really meeting the needs of our kids in our community, to ensure that the state policies and legislation are good for Harrison kids, not just kids in other communities. In addition to that, we're out looking at opening an alternative middle school at the start of next school year. So we're in the planning phases for that. And what most of our team is really passionate about are restorative practices and prevention. So we've written some grants to move those things forward, to get an influx of revenue to really move those systems forward as well. And so in terms of academic performance and how wraparound services relates to that, we don't have a lot of direct involvement in academics. We're kind of like the graphic shows. We're almost like the hands that are supporting the soil that's helping grow the academics. So students that are experiencing trauma, have a lot going on inside and outside of school, we know that can have a huge impact on them. So that's really what wraparound services is about in terms of supporting the academic performance. But we do look at a lot of different kinds of data. We're looking at increasing the graduation and dropout rate, primarily through our Career Connected Learning program. We're looking at staff and student survey data in terms of looking at staff retention, staff turnover, and how our wellness program can affect that. Also looking at substance abuse and the Healthy Kids Colorado survey. Apologize for the acronym there. HKCS, that's the survey just indicating what kind of things students are exposed to and what they're involved in. And of course, as I've already mentioned with our Student Success Center, we're looking at student discipline and the data around that, really trying to decrease the amount of exclusionary discipline that we have throughout the district. And I already kind of shared our mission and vision at the start there. But really, as a new staff, when we look at our department strategy for growth and development, since so many of our systems are pretty new or we're taking a brand new look at them, we're looking at evaluating the current programming and systems, creating logic models to look at where do we want to be in 5 to 7 years, and start to do that improvement planning for each of those systems. And within all 12 systems, even though they're not interrelated, we will have goals for each one of those that are measurable as we move forward. contributing to the common good. Here's just a little bit of a celebration here in terms of some of the things that we have going on. I talked about our success centers there at the top left. We have many staff at the secondary schools really working with kids on a daily basis to get those kids their social emotional skills, work on restorative practices with them. On the bottom left, you'll see Community Connections. That's an event we had a couple weeks back at Centennial Elementary School, where we were recognizing that through the UPK program, Universal Preschool, it was pretty confusing for parents in terms of how to get in. So we hosted an event, we actually hosted another one at Monterey the other day, to really, we got it on the news, made sure that parents could come and get support one-on-one with someone rather than getting on a website and getting kind of the runaround from these different programs. And so we have quite a bit of staff wellness planned for the rest of the semester. And on the bottom left there, you'll see Career Connected Learning. We had internship fairs at both high schools. And that was the first time we've done that. And that was just Ashley's work over really just a month and a half of knocking on doors of businesses, drumming up some support from the community to start getting these internships planned out for us. So that's just going to explode into a whole big system as we move forward in the next couple of years. We do have a big grant funding focus. When we meet with the grant team in finance, we're like, you guys have so many grants. And it is a lot of work to manage them, but we are working with $2.8 million in grant funding. And so I'm not going to read through the list there, but tons of grants. A lot of them are mental health oriented, but we're working on writing many more of them. And the cool thing is that a lot of our salaries are actually not coming through general fund, but they're paid through Medicaid reimbursement grant or some of the grants that we're writing ourselves. So we're pretty self-sustaining in that way. And there's a lot of money out there that we're continuing to try to bring into the district. And a couple areas of strength of our department. We have some very experienced members on our team. We've really pulled from some of the districts around us, some of the best people out of those districts with a lot of experience. And so we're very intentional about improvement planning and collaboration with other departments in the building. As we really wrap around the whole district, we have to be involved with a lot of different departments. We're an interdisciplinary team. We have somebody on our team, Dr. Banish, who's delivered babies and performed surgery to teachers, fellow teachers, mental health workers, and so we're pretty interdisciplinary there. Strong focus on wellness and mental health as well.
Mr. Hobbit, I have to commend you on building this all-star team that we have here with us. For you guys to only work with each other for maybe a semester and a half solid. You guys do wonders for us. I was sharing some of our experiences with grant writing with some of our fellow board members across the country as we visited Chicago last week for the CUBE conference. And I was telling them about our budget and that how much grant money we bring in. We're very good at writing grants is what I told them. And like, wow, we need to get your information. I was like, you need to get the information of our teams that we have here because it's really the work that they do. I want to take time to notice you all, Ms. Mabel, Dr. Banish, Ms. Fortel, Ms. Trosper, Ms. Cooks, who is not with us this evening, as well as Mr. Montoya Dismit. I want to thank you guys for the work that you guys do. You truly do help to take care of all of us, and that helps us to better take care of our kids. So thank you all for the work that you do. We truly appreciate you guys and the work that you all put forward. Thank you.
I was made aware of the Universal Pre-K Community Connections meetings, and I commend you all for getting out in front of this and reaching out to our parents of students in Harrison School District who have had difficulty or probably weren't even aware that the universal pre-K was an option. However, we reached a roadblock there. So you educated our community about it, and I appreciate you getting up in front of that. So thank you, Ms. Norris, for sharing that with me today.
Yeah, we really appreciate partnering with them. And I just wish we would have done it earlier. I'm thinking like for next year, like how can we get the word out even earlier? We even helped families from other districts. Saw it on the news, showed up to Monterey or showed up to Centennial, and that's great, as long as we can help a family.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Yes, Ms. Wilson.
So, you have slated the alternative middle school 24-25. Can you tell us just a little bit more about what that means and what services, and how it's going to operate, where it plays?
Yeah,
just higher.
I can't tell you a whole lot yet. October 9th is we have a big work group session to start that process in terms of designing it. We've visited several alternative schools in Denver Public Schools. The thing is, there's not a lot of alternative middle schools out there. There's alternative high schools. There's some that have some middle school components. But basically, as we look at meeting the needs of all of our students, we have Career Readiness Academy, and that's a great place for students that need something different. It's really that same concept at the middle school level. And when we toured those schools in Denver, it wasn't just students with behavior problems sent to an alternative school, which I think is what a lot of people think of an alternative school as. It's those schools, although they had been established for 5 or more years, really ended up being kind of a school of choice, where there may be a few students that are sent there as a directive from the district, maybe disciplinary, but really it sounded like the majority of those students have chosen those schools because it's a smaller environment, a real strong focus on relationships. They have extra mental health support. They have paraeducators that can work with students. So it's really, in terms of the design, that's really what we're looking at. It sounds like those are the most effective programs. I've spoken with districts that have had middle school programs fail as well, and that's the main reason behind failure is not having the right staff in place, not having a focus on relationships, and really only sending students that didn't want to be there in the first place to the school instead of really building a culture of having it as another option for students.
So I see Mr. Dunn here, and I have had an opportunity to go, and that's one of my schools, is the Career Readiness Academy. And so I am very interested in learning how we do our community. I want to make sure that they're getting all the supports that their students need, because it's a different learning environment, different structure. You have a plethora of challenges outside of what normally happens in the public school system. So I'm just going to put a plug in. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Dunn. But I saw a need there, and I carry a burden for them too. And so I just wanted to speak on that. But thank you, because I think it's outstanding work that you're doing in general. And I don't know, are there very many districts that have like a home devoted wraparound service department? I mean,
we're trailblazers.
I guess so.
We're trailblazers.
And this makes me even more excited about why we are the best district in the state of Colorado.
I love having to explain what wraparound services department is when I meet people from other districts and conferences and whatnot. I'm pretty proud of it. You're doing some good work.
So thank you to the staff.
I also have a comment. I just wanted to say that I also commend you guys, and it's evident that you have continuously supported our students even as your program is just beginning, and I think that it's going to be very helpful for students as your program continues to evolve.
I'm really excited because before this program started, I was talking to Superintendent Berhansel and other school board members and community members and knew that our district really needed wraparound support, just because of the different dynamics in our community. And so I'm super excited that this is happening and that you're all doing this work. Our principals and staff are doing the work, but I really, really am excited to see the outcomes in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It's going to be amazing. Thank you.
What is the Walktober? Do you have a date?
Walktober? It starts October 1, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
You want to be on our team?
actually be on the
We have
team.
room on our team.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I need to know a little bit more about it. If we're walking my 20K, I can't do it, but what is it?
It's whatever you want to do.
No?
That's the beauty of it. You can be on a team, you sign up and you just track your steps, or you log, if you went on a run, or if you just logged a lot of steps at work. And then you're on a team and you're just working together to try to win. District 2's won, I think, the last 2 years in a row. We compete with D49 and D20. Right? Yeah. So,
Our first year, we all got on teams, and Linda Pugh was a walker. She was logging miles, and I couldn't believe I wasn't keeping up with her coming fresh out of the military. I'm like, man, this lady is killing me. But it's an individualized team sport, and yes, we are very good at it in this district.
yeah,
Yes.
people get into it. For
Yes.
sure. It's fun. And we do have room on our team. We are, what's our team name again? Walking in Circles.
It makes sense to wrap around.
It took us a while to get to that.
Yes. Love it, love it. Any other comments? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. I'm told that we do not have anyone sign up for public comment this evening, so I will skip to item number 7, matters reserved for board action. Item 7.1, we have naming of a housing proposal. And with us this evening, Dr. Hansel is busy trailblazing this week, and so in her stead, we have our own Dr. Mike Claudio, our assistant superintendent.
So as you know, I got a little emotional when I was reading the recommendation to name the housing for teachers, for staff, taking place at Mount Vista Community School to Wendy's Place. And so I think it's a great thing. Obviously, I wouldn't read this whole thing, but we because of Dr. Berhansel's efforts and being a maverick, being a servant leader, being an innovator, and knowing that the way we can continue to recruit and attract teachers is to provide them with affordable housing. We are moving into 40 net zero homes, tiny homes essentially, in the northwest side of Mount Vista. And so we'll be working with We Fortify and a organization out of Pueblo to be providing those homes in the near future. And so it's going to be a great opportunity for our staff.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I will read the first and last paragraph of that narrative. Dr. Wendy Berhansel embodies the value of community in Harrison School District 2. She has diligently prioritized community partnerships and developing relationships to further the success of our students, staff, and community. And since Dr. Berhansel became superintendent, employee culture survey scores have been the highest that Harrison District 2 has seen, and staff retention is also at an all-time high. The district was named the 2022 Best Education Workplace by the Colorado Springs Bureau Business Journal. Strong educator satisfaction and low turnover rates have helped create a cohesive district-wide team, enabling D2 to build on its success yearly. Dr. Berhansel embodies servant leadership, innovative thinking, and maverick leadership style that focuses on everyone's needs every day. naming the teacher housing Wendy's Village ensures her commitment to our kids, staff, and families is the benchmark for all to follow. And we completely support her in that name. And to solidify that support, item 7.2, I would just need a motion.
I move that teacher housing project in Mountain Vista be named for Dr. Wendy Burhanson.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Frazier, second by State Representative Dr. Regina English. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item so moved. For item 7.3, I would just need a motion. Oh, I'm so sorry. Item 7.3 was added because we had made a mistake in the addendum of Superintendent Burhanson's contract. That addendum represents a correction that was made in her contract.
I move to approve the addendum to the superintendent's contract as stated.
We have to go back and read it.
My apologies, I did not see the highlighted there. In order to consistently comply with section 4.7 of the superintendent's contract, see, I had the knowledge of it, I just had the words. The recommendation is that starting with July 1, 2024, your retirement contribution will be made on the first day of July each contracted year. Is there a motion to approve the amended contract? There we go.
I move to approve the addendum to the superintendent's contract as stated. Second.
Motion by Representative Dr. English, second by Mrs. Willis Hill. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item so moved. Thank you, Madam Secretary. You're straight there. I will move us right along to item number 8, our board consent agenda. And according to our GC policy, the board will use a consent agenda as a means to expedite the disposition of routine matters and dispose of other items of business it chooses not to discuss. These items include item 8.1, approval of minutes for special board meeting dated July 15, 2023, August 3rd, 2023 work session, and August 17, 2023. Item 8.2, OE7 Financial Administration Monitoring Report, presented by Ms. Shelley Becker. Item 8.3, OE6 Financial Planning Indicator Report, also presented by Ms. Shelley Becker. And item 8.4, OE8 Asset Protection Indicator Report, which was also presented by Ms. Shelley Becker. And for 8.5, I would just need a motion to approve said items.
I move to accept the board consent agenda as stated.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Willis Hill, second by Mrs. Salazar. All those in favor?
Aye.
Items so moved. Moving along to item number 9, superintendent consent agenda. These items also fall under GC 2.6. And those items are 9.1, August personnel and comparison report. Item 9.2, July financial report. And for item 9.3, I would just need a motion for said items.
I move to approve the superintendent consent agenda items as stated. Second.
Motion by Representative Dr. English, second by Mrs. Salazar. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item so moved. Moving along to item number 10, monitoring board performance. Item 10.1, our annual work plan. Do we have any recent changes?
No, sir.
Good. just a note for the board that we do need to, remember to, start thinking of some dates, for Dr. Berhantz's evaluation coming up, next month, for those weekend dates. I'll move us along to item 10.2, legislative updates. This evening.
No, sir, no legislative updates.
Thank you, Dr. Collier. All right. Now we'll move us right along to item number 11, to adjourn. And of course, for 11.1, I would just need a motion.
I move to adjourn the Board of Education.
I second.
Motion by Ms. Frazier, second by Mrs. Salazar. All those in favor? Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Everyone drive safely this evening. See you next time.